Hello, and welcome back to the Alminni Live. We have another session today.
Yeah,
I'm Oliver,
I'm Johan.
and what are we going to do today?
Today, I would love to look into creating landing pages with AI.
I've heard about Orlando. Who is Orlando?
Orlando is what we like to call an Italian who is amazing at making landing pages using nothing, no frameworks, no libraries. It's just pure basic web development.
So does it use React or Vue or something fancy like that?
No, it uses only specifically JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. So back to basics. No fancy libraries or
Fantastic.
anything.
Okay, so more concretely, who is he? Orlando, or what is it?
Yes, Orlando basically comes from the idea that we created a workspace in Alminni called AI Landing Page. And from there, we kind of generated a persona called Orlando, which is this amazing Italian web developer who knows everything about SEOs and how to style things, UX design, and how to properly structure a landing page in the most simple way possible.
Fantastic. And how about hosting? Where can it be hosted?
We have actually come up with a pretty clever idea, which is that we just host it on what is called GitHub Pages, which is, as long as the code is public, it is 100% free, and you can just keep pushing out new versions without ever having to worry about a fee or a subscription fee or anything.
And how about Alminni? How much do you pay for that?
Currently, I don't pay anything, but there is because we use a freemium model at Alminni, but you will be able to scale up if you feel the need is there.
Well, so it's a bit like GitHub.
Yeah.
There's a free option, but if you do use it extensively, then there is a cost.
And again, it only makes sense once you really get to that point. Otherwise, you would just use it for free. Yep. So essentially, this idea is that you can make landing pages 100% free. And I will be changing all of my websites to use this just because I would like to save that extra bit.
Fantastic. So does Orlando have a landing page himself?
Ironically, he doesn't have a landing page.
Okay.
So I thought maybe we could make one in this video.
So we're going to make it now.
Yes, I think we should make it now live because nothing ever goes wrong when you do it live.
Fantastic. Well, if you're up to it, then
I think we should I think we should just try it because there are some little things we need to look into while we're working with Orlando, and you'll see how we kind of evolved to where we are today with him.
Yep. So have you made any pre-setup or anything that's making it ready?
Yes. So I've set up a GitHub repo. So if we just hop on over here, just to make sure that we get the screen here. Here we go. And just to start out, we'll just look into the Alminni workspaces, where we have the one called AI Landing Page, which is a public one, so anyone can access this and use it. The whole idea here is that we wanted to make it publicly available for anyone to make landing pages for free, instead of, again, locking it in through vendors and stuff.
So what's required is that you sign up for Alminni, which again is free.
Yeah.
And then you have access to a lot of workspaces or several workspaces. Among those, this one is called AI Landing Page.
AI Landing Page.
And what we can see on the screen is the Alminni web interface.
Yeah. And we've pre-trained this one a lot with various like standard CSS notations on how you would structure CSS and how you would structure HTML and projects and JavaScript. Basically, giving him a lot of information on how to operate efficiently, making a website, so that you already have something to work out from.
And we'll see how good it is, but if we want to make it even better, we can always extend or improve it.
Yes.
The workspace.
We are definitely planning on making this one an open source one so that we can get as many people in on it as possible to start perfecting it so it becomes really good and start competing against actual like big companies, whereas this would just be completely free.
Fantastic. And well, I remember to the viewers, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment on the live chat here. We will try to respond if we notice.
Or if we know the answers.
Yes. So this is the workspace, and there you mentioned a GitHub repo.
Yes. So right over here on the right, I already created the GitHub project or repo in Flowcore.io. It is public. We can post it on in the description or post it somewhere.
In the show notes. Yep.
Yeah, where you are able to look at it. So what I did was I just went in here, created a brand new GitHub project. There's nothing special about this one. And then I pulled that down onto my machine and then opened it with Cursor.
Yep.
And Cursor is the IDE or tool that we use to communicate with the AI.
So is it required that you use Cursor? Could you use other tools?
Yes, Alminni allows you to essentially use anything you like as long as it has something called MCP. So I would recommend you look up your tool of choice to make sure it has MCP support. But basically anything that has MCP support can support
So a simple AI chat agent would do.
Yeah. We specifically use Cursor because this is the tool of choice that we prefer using. But you could use any other tool.
Yep.
So I think we should just get started. And before we can really get started, just to really emphasize how we want this experience to be, as you can see on the left side of the directory view, there's nothing in this folder besides some hidden files that Git generates. So to start out, we'll go back to Alminni, the website, go into the AI landing page workspace, press the Connect MCP button, and then we start out by creating we'll start out by copying this one command setup, which is essentially you call this and it will set up everything to do with Alminni in your Cursor project.
So it set up the MCP server if it hasn't been set up already.
Yeah.
And it sets up the connection to the workspace.
Yes. And it generates a file, like a rule set for the program, so it knows how to communicate with Alminni.
Yeah. So if it's Cursor, it's Cursor rules, one Cursor rule file.
Yeah.
And just one, which is the connection to Alminni.
Yeah.
And not 100.
No, exactly. And that way he can kind of pick and choose himself how deep he likes to go into information.
Yep.
And again, we will be supporting more in the future, such as Warp, because Warp just got a new update. So we will paste it into a terminal in the Cursor. And the reason I copied this first is because I need to replace what's said your access token with an actual access token. So we go back to Alminni, and at the top we press create token, and then API tokens, create token, and we can call this Orlando.
So it's just the Orlando token.
Yeah, and then we'll pick out what workspaces we're interested in. It's AI landing page, and for this, we'll just stick with 90 days. Create the token, and here it is. Don't worry, I'll delete it right after this live stream, but here we go. Go back to Cursor, paste it in, and then we press enter. And now he will start initializing all the required files and stuff. First, he asks what tool we're using. We're using Cursor
So
in this case.
Cursor, Cloud Desktop, VS Code, Client, Windsurf are the ones that are supported out of the box.
And more will come later.
And you can do things manually if you're using other tools.
Yeah. Some tools are a bit more not as up to date as others, so you might have to do it manually. But again, Alminni shows you exactly how to do that.
Yeah.
So we pick that one, and then it asks us what workspace we're talking about, and we are interested in the AI landing page. And here comes the interesting part. This is that you have to provide a pre-prompt.
Or you have to, or you can.
Or you can. So as it says at the bottom, it says enter your pre-prompt or press enter to skip. Now we have created a pre-prompt specifically for Orlando. So I have it in my notes right here, and this will be published somewhere. Most likely it will be in the Orlando page.
It doesn't seem very extensive.
No, it's mostly so that he knows we're basically trying to make it more of a person. So when he will try to embody the various personas that are in the AI landing page, specifically Orlando.
Yeah.
And Orlando is a sweetheart, and we specifically told him to often refer to himself in third person.
Okay.
So I'll just paste this one in. the CLI and then pressing enter because this is just fine. And there we go. Now we have the project is set. And as you can see on the left side, it created the Alminni MDC file where it shows you the instructions on how to communicate with Alminni. And yeah.
And again, that's the only MDC file you'll ever need for this project.
Exactly.
Yep. So next step. So how do you start telling Orlando to make a landing page for himself?
Yes, so I think we should start out by writing in the AI chat window saying, hey, Orlando, I noticed that you don't even have a landing page. Could you please create a stunning landing page all about you and what you are capable of? Something like that.
That sounds amazing.
Also, here is a cheeky color palette. I think, yeah, that's what you spell it, color palette, if you like. And then I actually prepared this beforehand, having a little color palette that might work with him.
Yep.
We'll see if he uses it. And we'll just drag it into cursor so that he has that as a reference. And then we'll just say run.
And which model are we using?
We are using Claude 4.
Is that a good choice for HTML?
Yes, Claude 4 is generally very good for programming, but again, we have tried it out with Gemini and ChatGPT 4.0, and they all seem to work quite well. Yep. Claude is just specifically the one I prefer using when developing, but you can use whatever tool you are more comfortable with or can afford.
Yep. So that's defined in cursor, so for each prompt. You can even change your mind as you move forward.
Yeah. So let's see, what is he doing? As you can see right now, he has read and understood the Alminni MDC file.
Yeah. Was there any call to the
and now we can see
Alminni tools? He called the memory fragments. Yeah.
So now he's fetching information. So let's see what he actually fetched. He actually looked up Orlando because his persona is in Alminni, so that he knows how to operate, how to act.
Now Orlando, as you said, talking about himself in third person.
He's really sweet. And for some of you who are like CSS savvy, we'll see that he is following what we call the BEM methodology, BEM notation, which is a very good CSS notation to use when you don't use any other tools besides just pure CSS. And this is what he's already been told before we even get started. So what he's currently doing now is just creating the website itself. It might take a little bit, but we'll see when he's done.
Yeah. So Orlando will only use vanilla HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Yep.
Yeah.
As you said. And he even what you call it? Gave you a compliment on the beautiful teal to gold color palette that you provided.
Yes. That's the fun thing about AIs. They sure like to make you feel good. And this might, depending on how complex he makes this website, it might take a while. And as I say that, I see he just finished creating the index HTML file, which is the root of the project. And now he is moving on to making comprehensive CSS styling for the website. And what I'm hoping to see once he's done creating all these files is that he will actually start up the project locally as well.
Yep.
So you don't even need to open a terminal or some tool to run the website. He will also make sure to do that for you.
Fabulous. So
he's actually created a to-do list that we can look at. And he seems to create a stunning HTML landing page and then implement the beautiful, again, very sweet teal to gold grading color scheme provided. And then he add modern interactive elements and animations to showcase technical skills, and then create comprehensive CSS with responsive design and modern UX. So this is all information he's been pre-trained on so that he knows how to act.
I noticed that the video of us is overlapping the to-do list, but that's...
We can quickly change that. Look at this. We'll just as you can see right there.
Oh, we're at the top.
Yeah.
And how about the Alminni nudie branch? Can it be moved as well?
Should we flip them upside down?
No.
So I'll just leave him to run for a bit. But,
Ooh.
I think I'll just move us back down.
Yes, but as long as you're aware.
Yeah, it'll be pushed up by itself in a bit.
Yep.
So can we see what he's working on currently? Yeah, we can actually see him writing the code live. And again, the whole point with the landing page AI or Orlando is to allow people who don't know how to program to be able to make landing pages.
Yeah. So remember, the prompt you put was very simple.
Yes.
You just told Orlando, make a landing page of yourself.
Yeah.
That's it.
And maybe that's why it's so long. He's very obnoxious. He thinks he's amazing.
So part of this is that in order for Orlando to know what Orlando is, Orlando looks into Alminni, into that workspace, and to the persona, and to see, okay, what's the point of this?
Yeah, because he needs some kind of information to be able to make a website besides just making a website.
So if I had a small business and I wanted to make a landing page, it would help to have some kind of description, either in Alminni or somewhere else that could give some context. Yes. Or you could paste the context in here.
Yeah.
The point of Alminni being that it extends your context.
Yeah. And honestly, one thing that you could do is that, say you wanted a landing page, but you already had your business beforehand and you have a lot of information. You can take all of this information, put it into your own private workspace in Alminni, and then basically combine the two workspaces by having AI landing page create the website, but then Alminni also go into your private workspace to extract relevant information that makes sense for the landing page.
Yeah. And I can see there are at least one file that has been created, the index HTML. Can you see that one?
Yes, and the styles.
Yes.
And what we like to think is, well, what we made him be able to do is that if you are a programmer, you can tell him, go into real depths and tell me all the fine little small things. And he did not create this one. It's just cached.
Whoa!
And there we go.
Oh, I'm amazed.
He made it glow.
Ciao, I'm Orlando.
And he made some weird, like trippy. I mean, he is the artist, so. And as you can see, it has the like fade in animations out of the blue. Maybe we should have picked a better color palette, but that's on us, not him. And it has the whole fading part there, the sign philosophy. And as you can tell, he doesn't drown in information. He like keeps them separate. And even a contact page as well.
Fantastic. So if you want to do changes to this page,
yes,
how would you go about that?
So what we could do is just straight out of the box say, that looks really good, but the color palette is horrible. Can you pick something else that you think would look good with Orlando?
Yep.
And then we'll just let him run. Now, one thing that we have noticed when using Orlando, or pretty much using any AI really, is that when you have to specifically tell them to press, change the text in that button that's on that page under that section, AIs tend to get a bit confused and they might struggle a bit because they have to basically translate whatever you said into somehow.
Yeah, often you take screenshots and then refer to the screenshot and say that button.
And then he has to try to understand that from context and map that to whatever the website code says.
Okay. Do you have a solution for that?
Yes, we did find a solution, which was to, hang on, before we look at that solution, he has actually changed the colors. So we can hop on over and look at it. Okay, that looks much better. That's not as dauntingly ugly as the other one. All right, that looks really good.
So I have one request or query is that Can we fix that? A too fancy light mode, dark mode changer? Although
Yes.
it's really cool, but it's a bit over the top, I think.
Yeah, it's a bit too artistic.
Yeah.
So basically what we did is that we created a open source extension. It's currently only out for Chrome. So I think we should just try and open it. So if I just grab the URL that he gave me, that he's currently running the website locally on your machine, open Chrome. And as you can see on my tab, it's called the Open Web Inspector AI Element Inspector.
And that's a web inspector that we or you have developed, and it's released in official on Chrome web store, what's it called?
Yeah, the Chrome Web Store. You can hop on in here and then just install it.
Yep.
And it will be coming out for Firefox as well. It's just we haven't gotten around to it yet. And he even, so the website's running here. And as you can see, the extension's up in the corner. So what we did is that if you turn it on, and press the little weird artistic decision there. And then we added an ask button where you can ask it to say, could you make, currently there are 2 emojis. Could we make that one so that it is only one sun and one?
Yep. So this is a pop-up that comes, it's like a web inspector, but you use that plugin, but it has an AI pop-up where you can ask questions like you would ask an agent.
Yeah. So basically what I did, I pressed ask, the button ask, and then I wrote what I wanted, and then I can copy the AI instructions, then go back to cursor, and then paste them in.
So what you pasted in is what the plugin created.
Yeah.
And what's included there? That looks like a lot.
Yeah, he generates, basically he takes all the CSS that's attached to this button or this HTML element, and even shows you the navigation, as you can see here onto the element path. He shows you how to navigate to that specific element that you're interested in.
Yeah.
And then he starts out by saying, this is what the user wants. And the whole reason we do this is because now the AI has a perfect context of what CSS is used, where in the code it is, and all you did was just told him to fix it. So if we just tell it to...
So you could call this a mini Alminni.
Yes.
The plugin here, because it focuses on just that context.
Yes. And then again, we can, once we're done here, we can tell him to remember this type of instruction. So if somebody were to ask, can you please change this to be one icon? We can use this information for something.
So something is happening here on the code.
So he is updating the CSS, HTML, and a JavaScript file. So let's see if we figured it out. Moment of truth. We'll just load that. And there you go.
Oh, that's amazing.
And again, having to do this without the tool is still possible, but it's still the fact that you have to write the thing at the top of the screen, the toggles start mode.
I would say that particular one would be reasonably easy to explain to the agent, but there are so many other things that are not.
Yeah.
Specific buttons or
exactly.
or less specific buttons. Like, okay, that one.
Like an undersection of some higher section with a title and blah, blah, blah.
And especially if it's something that could be in many different places.
Yeah. So, for example, just to reiterate, you press the inspector button. You can even use the shortcut, which is Control-Shift-E. And then you can highlight whatever it is you're interested in. So say you don't like this icon, you can press that one, press ask, and say, can you replace this icon with a dog emoji? Like that. And then copy AI instructions. And then you will paste it in there and let them run.
Yeah. Very fast. Fantastic. Is that a good choice to have a dog emoji for the accessibility?
Probably not.
Probably not. Maybe.
We'll be sure to update it. So let's see. Did he actually do it? Yes. Accessibility always is a dog.
Yeah. Yep. So if we move on, and I think the interesting part with Orlando is, okay, how do you use Orlando? Maybe how do you get started? So could we set up a getting started section?
Oh, that's a good idea. So if we go, we can tell him to, could you please add a getting started section by introducing a section. We need it to showcase the connection Alminni, which is we go over to our browser and select the Alminni and copy this one line right here, the one command setup that we used in the beginning.
Yeah.
So we can set it to be like a step-by-step guide. Showcase connection Alminni by using the CLI commands here. And then we can add a little note. You need to also create token.
Yeah.
And then 2, we say during the CLI setup or the Alminni setup, use this pre-prompt.
Yeah.
When asked, you can find it in your, I'll just say Alminni MDC file so you can look it up yourself.
Yeah. Fast.
And then we'll say, what should else? Should we say publish it?
Maybe the first a sample prompt or something like that. So go into, for example, or into cursor and
yeah, we could do that. So we'll say showcase a sample prompt.
Yeah.
Then we'll just see what he does with this information.
Yeah.
And because he's trained on so much information, he also, which is very important in this, that he's very consistent with styling and make sure that it was roughly looks the same as well. So now he is looking into he even decided to go and look how if there's anything related to getting started that's already been created. What we hope to do with this is to open source it so that even more people can show cool examples of how you can set various things up like this.
Yep. So Orlando reads the Alminni MDC file to get the pre-prompt content. Found it. And now
he is currently updating. We're gonna have a look at what he's doing. He's currently writing, there we go, the getting started section.
Fantastic.
We'll just see now. Now he's gonna update a bit more. I just have to let him run. He's probably gonna do some CSS things now. Yeah. So again, as you can, some of the people who are savvy CSS users can actually see the naming convention and probably recognize it being the BEM notation.
Yeah, and we got a comment from Hannah.
Oh, look at that.
Someone has already tried out the tool and loves it, so that's great. We love our fans.
Yeah, again, welcome to provide feedback if you have any issues with it. The extension is on GitHub. We'll make sure to post it in various places.
Yeah.
So you can comment issues, provide pull requests, whatever you feel like would benefit the tool. You're welcome to contribute, because we're very much in the idea that we would like to make this free for everyone.
Yeah.
At this point, it's a human requirement to be able to have websites and hosting.
Yeah, but it is in effect free because the Alminni free tier is free and GitHub free tier is free. So
yeah, and the thing is, the repo has to be public.
But the website is public, so
yeah. Exactly. You could inspect it and then you can see the exact same thing that's on GitHub. So why not just make it public?
Yeah.
All right. So he did do some things. So let's go over and have a look. Let's see if we can find a getting started section here. Here we go.
Hey.
Oh, look at that. He even added a what you'll get.
Ooh.
Persona-driven expertise, context-aware solutions.
So is there any chance we could maybe push that upwards, because getting started is what you really are here for when you get to the Orlando page?
And look at that, he even decided, I'm not going to do that. You can go over to the Alminni dashboard to do it yourself. Because, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, that is actually better, because what if we decided to change how you do it?
Yeah.
Then you just go over there and set it up.
Fantastic.
But yes, I do think we should try and get this out there, because having it run locally is fine, but that's all it is.
Yep.
So I think we should just try one more cool thing about Orlando, which is awesome, looks great. Can you publish it, please?
Ooh. So where are we publishing it?
We are currently publishing it to GitHub.
Yep.
And some people who might be good at Git can actually see the commands he's running and might recognize them. So essentially what Orlando is currently doing is he isn't using some fancy tool that we pre-built or anything. He is just using what's called Git, which GitHub uses to send the information up to GitHub to store the code. So he's basically doing what a normal developer would normally do.
But in practice, you need to have GitHub or GitHub CLI installed to make this work automatically.
Yes, you would have to install Git.
Yeah.
CLI. And I think we should make
no, just Git.
Yeah, just Git.
Not GH.
No.
Okay.
And I think we should just make a list of like proprietary tools you need to have installed in your machine to be able to run this.
Yep.
And he does seem to have uploaded. I can see that there's nothing green over here, meaning that it has been submitted. So if we go over back to our browser, open the repository, reload, and there it is. It is all here, currently running 1 minute ago. It was uploaded.
And is the web page live?
No, that's the last step we have to do, which is basically now becomes a tutorial on GitHub, where you go into settings, press pages under general,
yeah,
and then you decide what branch you would like to publish to the internet.
Yep.
And we just say the main one, because that's the default one, and press save, and GitHub Pages source saved. And now when we go back to our code, we can actually see that something has started running. Something is pending at the moment, which is now GitHub is actually pushing this information into the internet for people to access.
Cool. And I noticed something about a custom domain there. Can we have a orlando.alminni.com domain?
Definitely. We should definitely have that.
Yeah. I have access to the DNS here. So.
Oh, nice. So let's just, once he's deployed, we can start adding that. And again, you don't need to understand any of this to be able to do it. You just need to press the button. And once it's all done, you can see a little green check mark down here under deployments.
Yeah.
Press it. And then you can see the URL that the website's currently stored at.
Oh my.
And there we go. Now
we're
it's
live.
currently public. So if you are live now, you can actually go onto the website and have a look using this URL.
So if you want an easier to remember URL.
Yes, I think that would be better. So we, again, go back to GitHub, settings, pages under general, and then you can add a custom domain.
Yep.
So what should we add here?
Orlando.
Orlando.com.io?
No, alminni.com.
Alminni.com. Like that?
I think so. Yeah.
All right, so we'll just press save. And then how long do you think this would generally take?
10 seconds? No, I don't know.
It's in progress.
So tell me what the C name.
You should probably have created it by now, right? I believe he creates it himself. The file. So if we go back to...
No, I just need
where it could be. That's a good question. So I have to close GitHub here. Let's see. Pop back here and press view organization and press Orlando landing page. He has created the C name right here, which is just the text that you wrote.
Yeah, but I need.
So the question is, how do you get that information? The actual ID.
I think we were on the right track there on the under pages. And the instructions learn more about
configure custom domains, about custom domains, help managing custom domains for your GitHub page sites, verifying your custom domain. Settings, here we go. Navigate to your DNS provider under custom domains, under pages, type your custom domain, create a commit, change name.
Subdomain is here.
Create an existing C9 file. Should ignored and required. Navigate to DNS provider, create either an alias, a name, or a record.
Yeah, we want a C name.
I'm using a.
I think it just looks like it's your username github.io. That's the one.
Okay. In that case, it's the Flowcore one.
Yep. So it's Flowcore.
We'll see if this works. It's interesting to do.
Let's just try this. Create record. It's created. Pending.
Oh, if we could do a drum roll sound, that'd be amazing.
So while I'm doing this, you might reiterate the process. What you go from the top? What did you do?
Yes. So what we did is that
Yep.
we initialized this GitHub repo, which was completely empty. There's nothing interesting in here. And then we pulled the project down onto our machines using the Git CLI, which is something you would have to install and create like a GitHub account. And then we would go over to Alminni and initialize the Alminni structure in your project, which is done using the method, the CLI setup method. And there are other methods you can read through the connect MCP server instructions, but the one we used was the CLI setup that we ran inside this cursor project. After that, it was just a question of telling him what we wanted, which in this case was to make a web page specifically for Orlando. And again, we might be fine-tuning it a bit more. We have some proper cool designers on our team that can make it a bit more impressive. Oh, look at that. So if I go to orlando.alminni.com, the website is actually live and you can go in and try it.
The only thing missing is the HTTPS. So why can't I just press that?
Yeah, smarter brains.
It says TLS certificate is being provisioned.
Okay.
This may take up to 15 minutes to complete.
So we'll just sit here and wait.
Fantastic. I think we're at the goal. So we managed to create a landing page for Orlando.
Yeah. And again, the whole idea is that it's not you tell him, make me a website, and that's it. It's more, it's like you have to communicate with him and then have him perfect it more and more to your specific needs.
And we published it on GitHub Pages, and every time you publish something new, you will get a new version out there.
Yes. And again, you can run the whole Git stuff if you know how to do that, but you can also just tell him to, publish it. I love it. Publish it. And then he will figure out all the commands he needs to run.
Fantastic. And just to reiterate on the web inspector tool.
Yes.
Currently only works on Chrome, but
it will be coming out for Firefox at some point soon. It is more or less just a build process that needs to be added.
And it's called Open Web Inspector.
Yes. And we'll be sure to link it somewhere so you can find it. Otherwise, this is the name and this adorable icon.
Fantastic. I think that is it. And I think the next step for you is to go to alminni.com, sign up, and find the Orlando persona in the AI landing page workspace and start using it with Cursor or with something else. And please be sure to comment on this video with whatever you create.
Yeah. And join our Discord as well, where you can start posting.
We will post that link as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
See ya.